Hi everyone, welcome back to Get Your Play Online. My name is Michelle and today we are going to be learning all about the letter O and making an octopus craft. So if you would like to learn about the letter O with me, we're going to be doing two activities. We're going to make a construction paper octopus, and for my younger ones or my friends that aren't ready to use scissors yet, we're going to be making a handprint octopus. So let me go ahead and show you guys what you're going to need for this activity so that you can play along with me. So for your construction paper octopus, you're just going to need a single sheet of purple or blue or pink or orange paper. Octopi are lots of different colors, and I'm going to show you some pictures in just a second. So you can choose lots of different colors for your octopus today. I made a pink one, and now I'm going to make a purple one. And then you will also need some scissors and glue for your construction paper and a black marker or maybe some googly eyes to make the face. For your handprint octopus, all you're going to need is some markers and some finger paint. So again, you can choose whatever color you want for your finger paint. I chose purple to match my construction paper. And of course, we're going to be practicing writing, so definitely grab a pencil and a white piece of paper or notebook paper so you can practice writing the letter O. So let's look at some pictures of octopi so we can get a good idea of what we're going to be doing today. So here is an orange octopus. Oh, here's a really pretty pink one. Oopsie. Here is a really pretty pink octopus. Wow. And here's kind of a bluish purple one. So octopi are lots of different colors, so choose whatever color you want to make your octopi today, your octopus. And a fun fact is that the plural of octopus is octopi. So if you saw two, it would be octopi. But if it's just one octopus all by himself, it is octopus. So let's start learning about the letter O, and then we can make our craft together. So here is our letter this week. It is O, and you'll notice it's like a big circle right here. So letter O makes a sound just like every letter in our alphabet. Letter O makes the sound ah, ah. So if you open your mouth wide, ah, ah, like octopus, ah, ah, octopus. And like the word olive, ah, ah, olive. Great job. So if you listen for the first sound in our word octopus, listen for the first sound, octopus, ah, octopus. That is the letter that O makes. So now we know what O looks like and what it sounds like. Let's sing our letter sound song together so that we can remember what letter O says. Ready? Every letter makes a sound. An O says ah, an O says ah, an O says ah. Every letter makes a sound. An O says ah. Great job, guys. Okay, we know what letter O looks like, what it sounds like. Now let's practice writing. So grab your pencil and grab a sheet of paper or notebook paper, whatever you have. And we're going to practice writing the letter O a few times. So I have my pencil, and I'm probably going to do some in marker too, just so you guys can see it a little bit easier on the computer. So letter O is basically a circle. That's it. That's all letter O is, and you're always going to want to start from the top when you're drawing your letters like this. So start from the top. You're going to go around and all the way up and connect. So you can practice with your finger too if you want to. And you can even write the letter O in the air like this with your finger. So you start at the top, go all the way around and back up. Ready? Start at the top, all the way around and back up. Good job. We can start practicing writing our letter O with our pencil. And like I said, I'll do a couple in my blue markers so you guys can see it a little better on camera. So start at the top, all the way around and back up. Great job. So I can see that's gonna kind of hard to see on camera, so I will do it again in marker. All the way around and back up. That's letter O. Keep practicing, friends. Let's do it again. I'm gonna make my letter O a little bigger this time. Ready? Start at the top, all the way around, down, and back up. Good job. Let's keep practicing. Letter O, all the way around and back up. Good job. So here's an example of a letter O that might need a little bit more practice. If you come all the way back up and you have like an extra line here, you want to keep practicing connecting your lines, because then this kind of starts to look like the number 6. So you want your letter O to completely touch the 2 lines together, and try not to have any extra lines or any extra space. You want your the 2 sides of your letter O to always connect as best you can. So that's our letter O. I'm going to draw an arrow to my best letter O. Let's see. I think this one is my best letter O right here. So now when I go and practice my letter O again, I can see what my goal should be for when I write my letter O, because this is my best one. I want to make more just like it when I practice next time. Awesome job, guys. So there's our letter O. I think we're about ready to start making our octopus craft. So grab your white paper and your finger paint or washable paint. And I have some baby wipes here off to the side to kind of just wipe my hands off quickly. But you're definitely going to need to wash your hands when you're done with the paint. Okay, so, and usually I use cotton balls to put the paint on my hands, but this time we're actually going to be using both of our hands for our handprint octopus. So octopi have 8 legs, and that's what the beginning of the word means. Octo means 8. So octopi have 8 legs, and we're going to be using 8 of our fingers. So you're going to want to put paint on all your fingers except for your thumbs. We're not going to get any paint on our thumbs. So go ahead and start slathering your paint on. You can use a paintbrush. You can use cotton balls like I normally do, but today I'm just using my fingers. So see how I'm not putting any paint on my thumb? That's how yours should look too. Okay, so here's one hand. There's one hand. And we are going to carefully do the other. So just no paint on your thumbs, but all the rest of your fingers are going to need some paint. All right, get all the paint on all your fingers except your thumbs, and mine is drying, so I'm gonna go back in and just kind of re-wet it. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna put one hand down at a time, friends. We're gonna do our handprints in the middle of the page. like this, and just kind of relax your fingers. You don't want them like squeezed tight and you don't want them like spread out too far. So I'm pressing down my first handprint, and then I'm lifting it, and then I'm pressing down my second handprint right almost on top. Let me show you. Right on top here. They're gonna overlap just a little bit, just like that. Great. And I'm gonna try and lift. And my octopus has some holes here in the middle. So I'm just gonna spread some paint here on the spots that I missed. Sweet pea. Sorry, my dog is playing in the other room and she's being kind of loud. So if you hear some growling and barking, it's my dog playing with her toy. Okay, so here is our octopus. Let's count the fingerprints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 legs on our octopus. Great job, guys. I'm going to wipe off my paint, and I will be washing my hands afterwards. Don't worry. Now is a good time to go wash your hands in the sink with soap and water to get all the paint off. All the paint. Okay, almost done. Just wiping, and we are going to let our handprint dry. While it dries, we're going to work on our construction paper octopus. Okay, almost done. Get your hands nice and clean so there's no paint left over. All right. That looks good to me. All clean. I'm all clean, friends. Thank you for washing your hands. I will be washing my hands right after our video is over. So we're going to let our handprint octopus dry. We're going to set it aside and we can start working on our construction paper octopus, like this one that I made before. So our construction paper octopus is going to be the letter O, and he's going to be a little octopus with 8 legs. So it's going to be pretty simple to make. And it turns out so cute. I can't wait to make this with you guys. So I'm going to start by folding this kind of bottom portion in. And I'm going to make sure that I can get at least 4 little strips of construction paper out of this bottom portion. So I'm going to mark it off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's great. We just want to, I'm going to try and make the octopus in 1 sheet of paper. So we want to use all of the paper that we can. We don't want to let any scraps go to waste. I can even fold it up some more. So this line here is where we know we're going to have to stop with our O that we're drawing. And then these down here are going to be the legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 legs down here. So let's start by drawing a circle. And remember to save this part of your paper so you can make some legs out of it. So I am just drawing a circle that fits in this top portion of my paper. And you can be as messy with this as you want, because we're going to have a messy and a clean side. Okay. So here is my circle, and I will outline it for you guys so you can see it a little bit better on camera. Here is my circle. This is what I have for my letter O. And we can actually just start cutting out because letter O is pretty simple. It's just a circle, right? So I'm going to cut down this fold that I made earlier to save my legs. And I'm going to keep this paper and set it aside. And now I'm going to cut a strip of construction paper along this way of this side of my O. Along this side of my O. And this side of my O. So I have these 3 strips of paper that I cut from around my O, and they're going to be 3 of my legs for my octopus, so I'm putting them aside to save them. And now I'm just cutting off the corners and cutting out my circle. Great. So do you see how this side has lots of lines on it? It's kind of messy, but when you flip it over, this side is nice and clean. So here is a really great trick to cut in the middle of your paper without messing it up. You're going to fold your circle in half. And then you can cut, and I'll draw it out first. I'm going to draw this first, so you guys can see what I'm talking about before we start cutting. I am going to cut half of a circle out with my paper folded. So I'm going to cut along this line. I'm going to cut half a circle with my O folded. And when you open up, you unfold it, you have a circle in the middle. And if you want to, do you see how my circle isn't all the way round? If you want to, now you can go inside of what you just cut and kind of either make it bigger if you want to make the hole in the middle of your O bigger, or you can just kind of even it out like how I'm doing. So here is my O, and it's going to be the body of my octopus. So before we start cutting out the legs, let's give our octopus a face. So I am going to just draw 2 eyes and a mouth for my octopus. If you have googly eyes, that would be super cute too, to put some googly eyes on your octopus. Here's what I have. Now we can finally start making the legs for our octopus. So remember those 3 pieces that we cut out earlier? We have 3 legs. We're going to save these for the legs. And now we can cut from this large rectangle that we saved. So just cut down the side of your construction paper. And if you want to make your lines a little more straight, you can always fold your paper first. Fold it. And then you can cut along that folded line that you made. And it gives you a pretty straight line to follow. So here is one of the legs for the octopus. And you can just keep folding. See how I have this fold in my paper here? I folded it, and now when I open it up, I have a nice straight line to cut down. So just cut down the folds that you make, or you can draw your lines that you want to cut on, or you can just freehand it. You don't really need to have super straight lines for this one. It's not super important for our octopus to have super straight legs. So let's count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legs. So here is leg number 6. And I'm just going to cut this last one right in half. Here's leg number 7 and leg number 8. So when you're cutting out your legs, just make sure that you have 8 long strips of construction paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we're ready to start folding up our legs and gluing them on. So to make this super cute octopus, we're going to accordion fold our legs. So that means you're going to take a little piece of your strip and fold it one way, like this, and then you're going to put it backwards and fold it the other way, like this, and then you're going to fold it back and forth, back and forth. And when you get to the end, just stop there, and you should have something like this. So there's one leg, and you're going to do that to every leg that you cut out, all 8 of your leg for your octopus. So accordion fold is just folding the paper back and forth until you make a teeny tiny square, and then let it out. Back and forth. It's super fun to see your accordion folded paper pop out when you're done folding it. That's my favorite part. Back and forth. Back and forth. And if you have like a little piece left over, like I do on this one, you see how like I could fold it, but it would make a really teeny tiny one. Just leave it out because we're going to need some space to put our glue on the legs. So it's okay if you have like one long piece like that. So I'm halfway done folding my legs. And I want to mention that we have such a fun week planned for you guys. We're having our last week of our summer program. It is our end of summer and back to school celebration week. So I know octopuses and octopi aren't really like back to school like themed, but I am so sure that you guys are going to have lots of fun going back to school and learning all about the alphabet. So I really hope that you enjoy this activity because I'm sure that you're going to be doing lots of alphabet crafts in your school once school starts, whether it's online or whether you're back in the classroom. So I'm just folding, folding, folding. And I'm on my last one. Here's my last leg. Fold it, fold it, fold it. Okay, there's all my legs for my octopus. And I'm grabbing my glue, and if you have like a glue stick, that would probably be better. But I ran out of my glue stick, so I'm using liquid glue, which is fine. But I think that, you know, a glue stick is going to be a little bit less messy. So I'm going to take my folded legs, and I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on one of the flat pieces that I folded, and I'm just going to stick it right on to the back of my octopus. So do you see how this is the front of my octopus with the face? This is the back, and this is where I'm going to glue all my octopus legs. So take a flat piece, put some glue, and just press it right on. And just glue all 8 of your legs on. Let's see, I have this one, and then I just have 2 legs to glue left. I'm going to flip over my octopus and make sure it's looking even. So yeah, it looks pretty even to me. I'm going to put 1 on each side. And it's okay if you have these like little pieces that are sticking up, because we can go in and cut them off later. So totally don't worry about that. So here is this one on this side, and then the last one is going on this side. And that was super easy. There's all my legs, and I'm gonna go and cut some of these long pieces that are like sticking through the hole. Make sure you don't cut your actual octopus. You can even ask an adult for help with this part, in case like you're having trouble cutting that small of a piece. And here is our octopus with all 8 of his legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And he is so cute. I love how our octopus turned out. And I also kind of like how each leg is a little bit different, because octopus, sometimes when they're in the wild, they might lose a leg and it'll grow back really slowly. So like sometimes an octopus will have a really short leg like this. So I kind of like that our octopus has different sized legs. So great job making this guy. He is so cute. Now let's come back to our handprint and see how it's doing. Okay, mine is honestly still a tiny, tiny bit wet, but I think we can make it work. Really, all you need to do is draw a face on your octopus. And my paint is just a little bit wet still, so when you're doing this at home, make sure you're waiting until your paint is totally dry. And then if you want to, you can actually add some little tentacles to your octopus leg, or some little suction cups to the octopus legs. And I'm doing that by just adding some tiny, tiny little circles. I'm not even sure if you can see it on camera. But I'm just adding tiny little circles to look like suction cups on my octopus legs. And I can show you a picture here in a minute. of the little suction cups that I'm talking about that octopi have. They look like this. So it's a little creepy, but octopi have those little suction cups on their tentacles so they can reach out and grab things easily underwater. And then, of course, you can take your markers or crayons or colors, whatever you have, and just kind of, make some underwater decorations. So I'm drawing some waves, and I'm going to draw maybe like some sand on the floor of the ocean. And maybe some seaweed and fish. So I'm just drawing some like sea plants, like some underwater seaweed and kelp. And maybe some starfish. And some fishies just floating around. Let's see, what color should my fish be? Maybe pink? And maybe some like rocks on the ocean floor. So let me see if I have a gray marker. I do have a gray marker, so maybe like a couple rocks, because octopi really like to hang out underneath rocks. A lot of times that's where they will build their home, and they'll hide out under there because it's nice and dark and quiet, and fish will come in there not seeing the octopus, and the octopus can gobble the fish up. So I'm just drawing some big ocean rocks here. All right, that is all I have for you guys today. Here is how our crafts turned out. There's our little octopus from our handprint, and our construction paper octopus made out of the letter O. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed learning all about the letter O with me today and making this super fun octopus craft. We have such a fun week planned for you guys for our end of summer celebration, and I hope that you guys have lots of fun this week. If you're already back in school, I hope you're loving it and loving your teacher and loving seeing your friends, whether it's virtually or in person. So have fun this week, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see y'all next time at Get Your Play Online. Bye!